sign in over there? She did it earlier. Okay. And we'll get started as soon as everyone's done signing in. Thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate you signing in, and welcome to our public hearing for the 2024 fifth annual plan. And we don't know how much money we're getting yet. That's still up in the air, but you're going to get to hear from Deb Smith, Dave Dieter, and Veronica Fields here with what we do know so far, and then there'll be an opportunity for each of you that want to speak to come up to the microphone and speak for up to 5 minutes. So thanks very much, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Deborah Smith.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Deborah Smith. I'm the Director for the Department of Economic and Community Development. As the Mayor mentioned, I have Dave Dieter, who is the Assistant Director, and Veronica Field, who is the Grant Administrator. Today, we will discuss the process for our proposed fiscal year 2024 annual plan, which is part of the 5-year consolidated plan. The 5-year consolidated plan was developed in 2020. This consolidated plan is effective from 2020 to 2024. Each year, the City of Erie is required to update the consolidated plan with an annual plan. This is year 5 of the 5-year consolidated plan, the last year for the fiscal year 2024. Each year, DECD updates a consolidated plan with an annual plan to ensure that we are still meeting the needs of the community. For the fiscal year 2020 plan, applications were available from December 1st, 2024 to January 24th, 2024. Presentations were conducted on February 5th and February 9th. Today is actually our second public hearing today. And so what we want to hear from you today, what you believe the funding for community development needs are, and why they're important, as well as home investment partnership and emergency solutions funding that we will be receiving from HUD. As the Mayor mentioned, we have not received our allocation yet, and this hearing will not have any dollar amounts listed for projects in your packet. The dollar amounts you see in the packet are funding allocations that were allocated back in fiscal year 2023. So the city prepared the 5-year consolidated plan in 2020 for the period of 2024. From the meetings and focus groups that were held, there were the following 6 priorities and subsequent goals and strategies that were identified in that plan. And so this, as I mentioned, this plan goes from 2020 to 2024. And so the first priority was housing priority. There's a need to improve the quality of the housing stock in the community by increasing the amount of decent, safe, sound, and accessible housing for homeowners, renters, and homebuyers that is affordable to low and moderate income persons and families. And the goals and strategies are housing rehabilitation, rental housing, housing construction, fair housing, home ownership, public housing. B was homeless priority. There is a need for housing and support services for homeless persons and persons who are at risk of becoming homeless. And the goals and strategies are continuum of care, operational and support, prevention and housing, and permanent housing. There are other special needs priority. There's a continual need for affordable housing services and facilities for persons with special needs and the disabled. And the goals and strategies are housing, social services, accessibility. D is community development priority. There's a need to improve the public and community facilities, infrastructure, public services, and the quality of life for all residents in the community. And the goals and strategies are community facilities, infrastructure, public services, accessibility, public safety, code enforcement, clearance, revitalization, historical preservation. E is economic development priority. There's a need to increase employment, self-sufficiency, education, job training, technical assistance, and economic empowerment of low and moderate income residents in the community. And the goals and strategies are employment, financial assistance, redevelopment program, financial incentives. F is administration, planning, and management priority. There's a continual need for planning, administration, management, and oversight of federal, state, and local funded programs. I'll now turn it over to Dave Dieter, who will give you information on the proposed funding amounts for fiscal year 2024 and the projected uses of funds for CDBG, ESG, and HOME.
Thank you, Deborah, and good evening, everyone. As was previously mentioned, the proposed funding amounts that are listed on your agenda sheet are the dollar amounts that were awarded last year, 2023. But absent any funding announcement from HUD, we're going with those numbers this year just as a guide. So they are as follows: for the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG program, $3,045,237. For the Home Investment Partnership, or HOME program, $933,497. And for the Emergency Solutions Grant, or ESG program, $273,428. With regard to the CDBG funds, in fiscal year 2024, we will focus our funding on activities that address goals aligned with the priorities identified in the 2020 through 2024 Consolidated Plan as follows: public facilities improvements, park and playground improvements, street improvements, including handicap curb cuts, street reconstruction, and tree removal, replacement, and streetscapes, public service, housing rehabilitation, economic development, and commercial and industrial rehabilitation. With regard to the HOME program, we will look to provide funding for the following activities: homeowner rehabilitation assistance, the creation of new affordable rental housing, and increase home ownership. With regard to the the ESG program, we take a slightly different take on our approach for that. These funds are available for emergency and transitional shelters, as well as rapid rehousing for folks in risk of homelessness. So what we do for those funds is we allocate ESG funds to the shelters, the emergency shelter and transitional shelters, based on a ratio of the daily average number of beds provided per facility to the average daily provided by all facilities, and we multiply that by the amount of ESG funds available for the shelter activities. For the fiscal year 2024 program, the allocation is going to be based on the 2022 average daily bed count, and that is because fiscal year 2022, which ended July of 23, is the last full year of data that we have. So we always go with the last full year of data when we're doing that calculation. So that concludes my presentation. I will pass it over to Veronica Fields for the next section on the agenda.
Thanks, Dave. Good evening, everyone. I'm on page 5 of your packet. It's been a long day, y'all. So, public hearing and schedule of events. Notice was published in the classified section of the Erie Times News on Friday, February 16, 2024, announcing the first public needs and input hearing, which is being held today, Monday, March the 4th, 2024, at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Notice will be published again on March 25th, 2024, announcing the second public hearing, which is being held on April 15th, 2024, beginning at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Citizens will be provided an opportunity to present their views on housing and non-housing community development needs and to comment on the priorities and level of funding assigned by the City of Erie in addressing the needs as contained in the HUD 5-year Consolidated Plan. Critical dates: December 1st, 2023 to January 26, 2024, solicitation of proposals, applications available beginning December 1st, 2023. January 26, 2024, applications are due. January 31st to February 9th, 2024, review of applications. February 5th and February 9th, 2024, presentation for CDBG and home projects. February 16th, 2024, published notice for first public hearing. March the 4th, 2024, first public hearing. Citizen input, hearings at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. March 19th or the 21st, 2024, study session with City Council. March 25th, 2024, published 5th annual plan, projected use of funds, advertised for the required 30-day public comment period, ending April 25th, 2024. Second public hearing date will be advertised for April 15th, 2024. April 15th, 2024, second public hearing, citizen input, hearings at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. May the 1st, 2024, council authorization to submit 5th annual plan to HUD. May 13th, 2024, 5th annual plan submitted to HUD for required 45-day review period, ending June 24th, 2024. June 5th and 19th, 2024, council appropriation and authorization to enter into contract with subrecipients. July 1st, 2024, the program year begins. I'll turn this back over to Deborah Smith.
Thank you, Veronica. At this time, we'll have ground rules for providing public comments. So anyone who would like to speak, we ask that you come to the podium, state your name and your agency's name, and you'll be given 5 minutes. So the podium is open right now. I also want to say that we will not be making any, we will not be giving any responses. We'll just take comments. Thank you.
You have all put in a long day, and I appreciate that. This morning I addressed you. My name is John Kelton. I'm with Erie County Reentry Services and Support Alliance. And I told you a lot about our program this morning, but I started thinking, what would be the best way to really show you the fruits of our program? So I would like to introduce two people, Daryl Martinez and Lance Boozer, to come up and just tell you about how the program, they were actually people who come through our program recently, just to tell you what your consideration really does fund.
How you doing? My name is Daryl Martinez. Like Jake said, I currently went through the program, and it helped me out a lot as far as like giving me guidance and a place to feel like I had purpose. After being incarcerated and doing a lot of time, I had no guidance. I had no thought of what I was going to do when I was released, and I ended up talking to a guy inside the Erie CCC Center, And the staff member told me, he said, you know, it's a great program. You know, go up there to the reentry office at the YMCA and they can help you out, you know, as far as like if you're looking for housing, looking for anything, you know, and with me being from Cleveland, it was hard to get my documents, and Mr. Jake Kelton had made that happen for me, you know. So with that being said, I just want to say, like, they really do a great service as far as helping people and pointing people in the right direction. You know, it's all about the help and the respect and the way they make you feel when you come and talk to them, because for me, it was like I was lost, you know, and Mr. Jake really helped me find myself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Lance Boozer, and like Daryl, I'm part of the program as well. When I came out, I was completely lost. I didn't know what to do, where I was going to go. My second stop was up to the YMCA and the Erie County Reentry Center. They helped me get a sense of direction, starting off with getting my IDs, Social Security card, things like that, the necessities for moving forward. It was a step-by-step process. I can honestly say when I stepped in there, I was kind of feeling a little hopeless. After talking with them, they gave me, like I said, a sense of direction. I knew I could come there for support, and currently I'm employed, doing very well, and things look really great for the future. So I couldn't do it without the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to both of you for your insight. We appreciate that.
Is there anyone else who'd like to provide public comment? If so, we ask that you come now.
Ruth Swanee from the city of Erie. I will first address the misuse of our public library. I spoke with Mayor Schember before the meeting. I think that comes under a community development priority, community facilities, improve the parks, recreation centers, trails, libraries, and all public and community facilities in the municipality. As I said, the Blasco Public Library is the only library in the city of Erie. And the county is renting out a portion of that library to Gannon University. I object to that on many things. But I asked the city to consider what they're losing. It is not vacant space. I choose not to have a computer at home. I go to the public library when I need to use the computer, when I need to type anything up to send out, to present, I go there. And I've done that for many years. It was on the first floor. I enjoy being in that area with the people who are there. It's never vacant. There are always people there. Maybe 4 weeks ago, I went down on a Monday morning when I was going to research about Blasco. How did it get the name Blasco Library? How was it paid for? You know, it was paid out of our tax money. And when there wasn't enough, the local community came forward and raised another $2 million out of their pockets for that building. It's a community asset, and it should remain a community asset entirely. And listening to these young men speak reminds me that I got kind of late involved in this trying to save our public library. But I went to the county council meetings. They were wonderful. The first meeting I went to, I would say 20, 25 people got up and spoke about keeping our library public. The room was full, and people got empowered by other people going up and speaking. So as more went up, towards the end, a man came forward. I do not remember his name. He said he was a felon and came back to Erie. Was released and came to Erie. He stayed at Goodwill at night, but nowhere to go during the day. He went to the public library. He spent his days there in the library, on the computers, researching. He's doing well today. Another man came forward. He had been homeless. He spent his days in the library, on the computers. I know I would see these people there. And for me, I always felt this is my community. This is a community asset. It is so very important to the poor, the homeless, and the less abled among us. That's what's been moved to the second floor. That doesn't belong on the second floor. The master plan of the library was to have that on the first floor where it is accessible, more accessible. There are people, my neighbor was telling me, that she was going to write a letter to Bishop Persico. What are you doing? Her daughter is, I think, around 30, has issues, and they spend a lot of time at the library, on the computers, and in that area. Her daughter, for whatever reason, is not comfortable getting in an elevator or going up steps. I ask, if you know anybody on county council, if you know anybody in the county, please speak up against what they're doing. Save the only public library in the city of Erie for the citizens of the city of Erie. Okay, that's that issue. The other issue is I've been volunteering with the International Institute. And I have seen the rental housing available to the refugees coming into this city. And it is abhorrent. The first time I was in one, I said, where are the rental inspections? They can't be happening over there. What I'm seeing in those houses and in those apartments would never pass your rental inspection program. I asked, you get your inspectors over there on the east side, especially around the Institute. They want to rent where people can walk to the Institute, because people coming in from out of the country, many of them don't drive. They need to be able to walk easily to the Institute. But the housing is I can't believe what I've seen. And I hope that we can improve that for these new refugees coming in. Those are my issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to provide public comment?
Hello, my name is Andrea Moffett. I am the director of the Teen Center at the YMCA. I just wanted to speak a little bit about our program and its impact on our youth in our community. We service, the last I checked, it's around 215 Erie City School District, Erie City children. Our goal is to assist with any of their needs currently as well as for the future. So we have a lot of different community partnerships that we are involved in to try to get them different education. We also I wanted to speak to some of my staff currently who are previous teen center children who are involved in they're not children anymore, excuse me. They are adults now, but they did go through our program. They have returned. They have success stories that they're here, and some of them are in college currently as well, that we also, and I'm so sorry because I'm a little nervous talking up here right now, but we have current students who will be aging out of our program that are looking to come back in a volunteer position and or a staff position. So we try to keep those relationships with them as well as assist with them after they age out of the program. But we do need the resources to assist with that. We have different programs that are geared towards financial literacy, currently running character building programs. Anything that they need, they come to us, and we try to accommodate that by reaching out to these different community resources that we have already current partnerships with, as well as consistently developing more as we go. So thank you for your time. I just wanted to just kind of talk for our program and say thank you for any previous assistance that you've given, and we are hoping for continued. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to provide public comment? Anyone else? Okay, before I turn it back over to the mayor for his closing comments, just want to let you know that our proposed projects will be listed in the newspaper, Erie Times newspaper, on March 25th. These numbers are proposed. Keep in mind that we have not received our allocation from the federal government because there's not a budget yet. Also, our next public hearing will be on Monday, April 15th. We'll have a packet here and it'll list all the different projects and agencies that we look to fund. City Council does have the final vote on everything. The public hearings are 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for all of you who are here. Thanks for those of you that spoke. We really appreciate hearing what's going on out there. And we'll definitely I'm sure our team here will make the best decisions possible to make Erie better with the money that we're going to get. We just don't know how much it's going to be yet. So thank you all for your work that you do to help people the most, because all these projects are basically helping people that need help. And we really appreciate that. And I think this is a very important step in moving our city forward. So thank you for coming tonight, and have a great rest of the evening. Thank you much.